Okay. And hello, beautiful Seren Stars, and welcome to your reading. And anyone who didn't know, Seren means star in Welsh. So I'm really calling you Stars. You know, you're getting a double whammy there with the star name. Yeah, but anyway, I've missed you. I've missed you all. I've been unwell, quite unwell again. I feel like I'm going through this huge transformation, detoxing, and all sorts of stuff. And I can feel my hands heating up as I'm talking about it, and they're giving me this sentence, get on with it. So I've been told it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about giving you readings. But just in case anyone has wondered where the readings have gone to. So I never know in these ones which way it's going to go, which way the messages are going to go. So I'm as surprised as anyone, with what the final kind of message is, really. So I have no title for it other than this is your reading for today or the weeks ahead or the months ahead. And thank you for everyone joining us across the globe. So as usual, I'll go over the basic meaning of these cards. We'll pick a charm for you and a little message there. And then we will, let's prop this up that's fallen over there. And then we will shuffle some cards together. And we'll flip them over as we go along, and we'll be surprised at what comes through. Okay, so first you have the beautiful Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is triumph and success and celebration and achievement, and it can also mean community, family and love. And isn't that just a wonderful card? My hands are really heating up already today. And as always, I usually choose these ones for the beautiful crystals or stones. Some of them have metals on, but they're also tarot cards too. So first we go with the Knight of Swords, which is ambition, action, and quick thinking. And that's also another strong, bold man on a horse. The original card, not too dissimilar. And your crystal is the carnelian, which is courage, which would be like a knight or a man or on a horse, and strength and creativity and motivation and passion and emotional balance. So that's like the basic meanings of those cards. So rightio, let's shuffle some together. So Spirit, what messages can you bring us? Okay, that one was kind of flying out for people across the globe today. All right, they're saying that's enough. All right, so I'm not going to take any more. We shuffle these ones next. These are the animal cards, which I love. So what messages, Spirit and the cards, can we bring people across the globe today? I hope you can see me shuffling there. Trying a new angle. What messages can you bring? Okay, we'll take that one. Right, so just move those out of the way so we've got a bit more room. And then I'm going to take some charms for you. So just give them a little shuffle. As always, I'm going to look the other way and shuffle them around some more. We have, is that like a lightning bolt or a thunderbolt? So maybe something is coming as like a surprise. And I have just, as I was about to set up for the readings, had a surprise invitation to go to Germany, but unfortunately I can't make it. My passport's not up to date for a start, so that's unfortunate. Right. Oh, the good old one, which I always pull if you watch these videos on the regular. Excuse my pen-filled hands there, doing some writing. You know that I pull this one very often. Okay, so that's wonderful. Your two charms there. Let's put that there. And let's pick you a little message. I'm going to look the other way. Shuffle those around. Oh, what have we got? What have we got? Hold on. I don't want to drop it. I know which one. I can feel a few in my hands, and I know which one I want to keep. So let's get rid of the others. And I want this one. I'm going to unfold it, but not read it until the end. Okay, let's begin the reading. So it is triumphant success and celebration, achievement, can be love too. Spirit and the cards, they're drawing me into, I've had this card quite a few times, but I've never really looked closely at the armor. And you can see it shining there, and it's almost, whoever the artist is, it's beautiful. You can almost see a figure, can't you, in the actual shiny armor. I'm just going to look closely myself and see. It almost looks like a figure of a person or a woman in the shiny armor there. How interesting is that? I wonder if there's another picture, the opposite view where you could see this person, but that's what it looks like to me. Let's get you right in close there so you can have a look. I'm being given the words love is on the way. I'm being given the words harmony. But I'm also being given the sentence stand your ground, which is really interesting that we've been given that, and love. And this card is also a love card. But this could be romantic love, this could be friendship love, this could be family love. And success. So they're giving me the word success, and this is a card of success. So we've got success, we've got love, but stand your ground. How interesting. Can you give more meaning behind that? Why they would have to stand their ground? Right, and being given the sentence, it's important to set your boundaries. Okay, and in love, in friendships, in all different scenarios, even if the person has the best intentions or they're not doing something on purpose, they may test your boundaries. And I think we can all know, if we've had brothers, husbands, boyfriends, or that male energy, they're a bit cheeky, aren't they? And they will kind of test your boundaries. And I think that is a kind of almost an innate part of what they do, so we have to set those boundaries. For instance, if you had a date, for females, I think it's important, or for everyone, just to set your boundaries beforehand, because I'm sure if you said to them, okay, we're meeting tonight's the night, I think most of them wouldn't be like, oh no, I can't, I'm a lady, I have to wait. I think, not unfortunately, but I think that in society men can kind of behave more like that than women can. Unfortunately, that's deemed as unsavory behavior for females, but I'm in support of however anyone wants to live their life, as long as they're not hurting anyone else. But I'm just trying to get across my message here of what I'm being given from the cards and the messages. So it's like, you need to, whatever's coming in, you still need to set the standards almost, and the boundaries, and they show me the goalpost. You need to set kind of the areas and the goals, because sometimes, if they don't have somewhere to aim, it's kind of aimless. They show me building up a solid foundation. So from that, you need, they're giving me rules and regulations, which can be, to do with work. If you're, say, a manager or a team leader, you can be friendly, you can be kind, you can be loving, but you also have to put your foot down, and you have to set these standards, if you like, for other people to respect you. And that is just the way of humans are when they're interacting with others. And others kind of will take the mickey, or we'll call it the test you a lot more than others will. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's in a bad way. It's just, it could be in a cheeky way, and you might not be ready. They show me steps, and you might not be ready for certain steps. There's normally like a process, isn't there, in relationships, whether it's work or romantic. This is obviously to cover a lot of people, but I'm feeling this is more of a romantic energy within this reading that's coming through very strongly. So some of you can take that. It would be great to hear like your story. And I'm being given the word new romance. So for many of you, it feels like a new romance. It doesn't mean to say that if you're in a relationship that it can't feel like a new relationship again. Like things may change. Maybe you need to put in boundaries that you hadn't put in before, yes, set the standard is very much what I'm being given here for how you want this relationship to go forward, whether it's platonic or romantic. What else can you give? Yeah, and they're also bringing me back to here in this reflection. So what you reflect and what you give out, you get back, don't you? So you want to be confident and say how you think and say how you feel. Don't be afraid. I'm seeing the sentence there to express yourself, and if that person can't be big enough or strong enough or kind enough or to take on your thoughts and feelings about the relationship or the situation, then really are they the person for you? You want someone strong and kind of this knight type energy, don't you? But it's still a very positive card, very positive feeling that I'm getting in this reading. Is there anything else that you can give me, please? I'm being given the words new horizons, so new things coming up. You could be moving to new places. We've already discussed the new relationships, new horizons. Been given new horizons, new adventures. So it may be like they're showing me something like turning and the world turning. So it could be like a complete change of your life. If you're single, you may be meeting someone and then starting a family, or again relocation to another area or another country. There's so many different things that this can touch on. Or you may be slowing down your pace of life and relaxing more if you've been going 100 miles per hour. Is there anything else you can give me? Okay, move on to the next card. So we go on to the Carnelian and the Knight of Swords. So we've already gone over the basic meaning, and this is another wonderful card, but it is a card of like quick thinking and action. And we was talking about here about setting your boundaries and how you're setting the pace, setting the tone. So here it could be with the Knight of Swords that whatever this situation is, and it's the feeling that I'm getting, is they might be pushing for more than you're ready for, or it could be the opposite. It could be you're pushing for more than they're ready for. So we also have to take that into account. And the Carnelian, it is courage and motivation and strength and passion, but at the same time they keep repeating and showing me about these steps and these boundaries. They're putting up fences around certain areas of land, so it's almost like you have to put your foot down is really what I'm getting strongly here, and be courageous when you do it. But you can do it in a kind way. We don't have to be mean about it. I'm just going to take a sip of my water. Okay, is there any other messages? Just going to focus there. Now they're showing me a road, like a motorway, and I don't know if it's the same in all countries, but I'm seeing like the lights, they call them cat's eyes, that light up, and glow and kind of guide again. So that's like a border, that's like a guide, isn't it, to show the way or to set the parameters, if you like. So I'm being given a lot about parameters and borders and boundaries here. So that's really important. And it's dark and we're driving along. It's like I'm in the car and we're driving along this motorway and I'm just seeing these. Right, okay, now we're indicating, we're turning off. They're giving me the word Knightsbridge, which is really interesting because of the card is the Knight of Swords. So we'll Google Knightsbridge after, which is in the UK. They may have it in other countries. Like we have twin towns, don't we? And or same name places in like America and other areas. So I will try and find out research afterwards and see if there's significance to that. All right, so we're turning off. And we've gone left, we're turning off, which you usually do on UK motorways, maybe different abroad. Right. They're giving me the word travel. Hmm. And I did have that invite for travel, so maybe some of you are going to get a surprise, a bolt out the bolt, out of the blue, surprise invite there. But they're showing me boundaries and just kind of again reiterating to whether it's friends you're going on this trip with or more of a romantic interest or past romantic interest, whatever it is, that you need to go and set those boundaries beforehand, so you both know what to expect, and they're showing me murky water. So you don't want murky waters. You want it to be clear. And the water now, I'm seeing it change to clear. You want it to be crystal clear, the message that you're giving to this group of friends or people. Or you could be, say, for example, a teacher going on an excursion trip with students. You need, whatever it is, you need to make it very clear beforehand, together as well, what the rules are, regulations are, your policies are, whether that's personal policies, procedures you want to put together. I'm laughing here to myself because that sounds quite funny, but it's just the way they're trying to put the message through there. Is there anything here? Right, I'm seeing two people and they're on it's a merry-go-round. It's like one of those rides, and you're both on it. You're kind of opposite ends, but you're both spinning, and you're looking at each other, and it's almost like you're looking at each other and going, "Here we go again," But you're unsure. You're unsure here of, you're holding on for dear life. You both want to try and make whatever this is work and put in the effort, but it's also, they're showing me like a whirlwind. So, this could be a very much a whirlwind romance. And this person may be coming in suddenly that you don't know, out of the blue, okay, or this opportunity, if it's not an actual person romantically we're talking about, or it could be someone that you already know that has been thinking a lot about you in a situation, and all of a sudden it's like they were one way with you, and then all of a sudden they're coming in with a different way with you, and you're kind of they give me off guard. You're thrown a bit because this person perhaps chops and changes. So there's also that scenario there, and it could also be that, even if it's a completely new person, they could be chopping and changing. Right, the beginning giving the word adventures. So whatever this is, or this person or situation, there's going to be adventures. But it may feel like you're holding on sometimes. You're on this like fast merry-go-round. Yeah, and you're both kind of like, well, we're in this together. We're holding on tight together here. We don't want to let go, but it might feel a bit rocky, and like you could just fall off at any time and go catapulting somewhere. That feeling, which is always when it's something new, you get that anxiety around it. Or if the person suddenly changes their approach or something out of the blue, that can definitely throw you, can't it? What else can you give me? Right, move on. Okay, what shall we go for next? Let's go for this one. How beautiful is that? I don't think I've pulled this card. Deep cellular healing. Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Now, I did start this reading with saying I've been quite unwell, and I feel like I'm going through some cathartic, transformation, and I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff. And others, you may also, some of you be going through that too and thinking, why am I sick again? You may be usually a fairly healthy person, but all of a sudden you've got one thing after another, okay? So I think they're trying to show you that this is part of getting rid of, I'm seeing the word toxins, and I'm seeing the word transformation. I'm seeing the word energy, so it's like unblocking energy blockages within your chakras too. Okay, let me just slow down and breathe a bit. I'm being drawn to this archway, but it's behind her, so I feel like she's come through like the worst of it, the worst of what was going on, or how they may be feeling. Yeah. I'm just being reminded of the ambulance I had called for me last week, but it's just that they have to do it as a precaution if you give them certain symptoms, you know. So everything was okay and it was fine, but it can feel like the worst feeling, can't it, at the moment? They show me some of you may have had operations yet, or been quite sick, or perhaps going through some treatment of some sort, but it's like you're through the worst now and you're kind of out, bursting out into the light and feeling more human and more yourself. You know, you may have been thinking, is this ever going to pass? Am I ever going to have my energy back? But it's coming back. They're giving me the word vitality, so your vitality is definitely coming back, which then allows you to go on these new adventures and these new experiences and this wonderful energy that is coming in there. Being given the word fast acting, so it could be, yeah, you've gone from feeling like, oh my god, I'm on my sick bed and I can't this and I can't that, to all of a sudden you're up, you're out, you're doing this, you're doing that, and you're just into this new world and into this new life and into this new you almost. And we're seeing here, it almost looks like angel wings just wrapped around her, doesn't it, healing her and helping her to transform. Is there any other messages that you can give me, Spirit and the cards? They're showing me the snake, and I have a new animal spirit guide, which is a beautiful green python that presented on the last readings that I gave. Yeah, and that's very much coming in and curling around, but that is also symbolic of transformation, so transforming you, you know, from the inside out. It's like destroying of this old you, and you're vibrating at a higher vibration. So they're showing me you may see situations or friendships, you know, fall apart, or relationships, but that's just getting rid of stuff that doesn't serve you and that doesn't uplift you and that doesn't particularly do you good, you know, like toxic people in your life. But I'm really excited for you, you know, it's bringing an exciting energy too, although you may be slightly reticent or anxious about it all, as is understandable. To not be afraid is the sentence I'm being given there. Okay, it's saying to move on. So let's go for this card. See what we have there. No. No way. Oh my god. I could almost cry, because what did I just talk about? My new spirit guide snake, the python that I see with the beautiful amber eyes and the green. And this is very similar to my spirit guide snake. It's not the exactness, but if you watch another one of my videos where it first came in, I put a picture in there of kind of what I was seeing, which is very similar to this. I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. And when I edit this, I'll keep that all going, so you know, you can see I've not you know, turn it over and see this card beforehand or move them around. My energy is sacred and I honor it by nurturing mind, body and spirit. And I was just talking about, oh sorry, that's just really hit me. Whew. And I was just talking about, you know, if you've been feeling unwell or you've been all sorts going on, like all of a sudden you're like transforming, yeah, and the snake curling around you and kind of transmuting, it's destroying the old and bringing in the new. If you look up the spiritual meaning of snakes, and they're revered in many cultures. This looks like a python snake, and it looks very similar to, yeah, my new. And it sounds crazy, doesn't it? You know, when you think about these spirit animals, these spirit guides that come in, but they're there it's and especially this is like reaffirming of what I'm seeing, what I'm being given, when we've shuffled these cards together, you've seen this and you've seen the process. So again, that was a bolt out of the blue, and that was a nice surprise. Okay, they're telling me to focus. Okay. So I think it's a lot of nurturing going on now, and I've changed my diet, and I've said this in other readings too, and I've been given this. It's about healing your body, and also healing perhaps past traumas and stuff like that, or if you've been through like operations, things that can really drain you of like your life force energy, or big events may have happened in your life. It could be deaths of loved ones, or a really stressful job. So many things can end up like draining us, and we have to build ourselves back up again. So now it's about taking care of your fitness and what you eat and what you put into your body, and honoring yourself and who you are. I've been given the word evolving. And they're also saying revolving. They show me the revolving door. It's always like you're going in. They showed me Superman. He goes in as one person, Clark Kent, and comes out as Superman, So it's bringing in like this hero energy and this strong male energy there. And again, it doesn't matter if you're male or you're female. How lovely is that? Is there anything else that you can give me? I'm just staring in awe and just blown away by pulling that card after what I've seen, and what I just discussed. Is there anything else? They just show me it's good to be in awe, be in awe, sit in those moments. And that could be they're showing me outside sunrises and sunsets, or beautiful flowers, or beautiful creatures. And I honestly never ever thought that my new spirit, guide, animal, creature, whichever term you want to use, would have been a python, because I'm more into the furry friends. So yeah, so it's being awe of things going on around you. Don't miss out on those moments, or watching the stars too. I love that when you go somewhere that's quite excuse me, quite dark, there's not a lot of light pollution. So when you look up at the stars, it almost feels like you are in space. So I don't know if any of you have ever done that before. Notice these magical moments. I think we're all too busy often, aren't we? And we don't. And maybe you can meditate and sit and, get in touch with your guides, spirit guides. It's only recently, really, that I've had 2 new spirit animal guides come in, which I'm really grateful for. So maybe you can try and get in touch and meditate and see what images you have come through, or what feelings and sensations. Is there anything else before we go on to the next part of the reading? Hang on, let's just knock at the door. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. That was just a parcel delivery. I was thinking, who's knocking on a Sunday? now I don't want to cut out. I might have to cut that bit out, the parcel delivery part, because it's going to be a bit of a gap, isn't it? Right. So let's go on to your message. Find 5 things you're grateful for today. And that always helps, especially if you've been feeling a bit down and not like taking in that beauty or awe of the world and these magical things around you, and we can all relate. It's so helpful to try and reprogram your mind, if we practice on a regular basis, to try and find things that you're grateful for, like your family or your pets, or your fur babies, whichever term you prefer to use, or again, the sunsets and the stars in the sky and the beautiful foods that you may get to eat and the time that you spend, with friends, just all kinds of things. The ocean, it's always helpful to find those 5 things or more that you're grateful for each day. Well, I'm just, well, that was a surprise knock, wasn't it? I haven't finished yet. I was just about to finish. Okay, surprises. So that's my second surprise out of the blue today. So I'm going to take that knocking at the door as part of the message. That was unexpected delivery today. I wasn't expecting that at all. That was meant to arrive, in fact, the other day. So please let us know if you have any surprise messages out of the blue, whether that's invitations to places, whether it's a date or, going away like I'd received today, like anything, or you'd won some money or on a lottery or something. It feels something really, really special that you probably need to take away perhaps some of the heavier stuff that you've been going through. Is there anything else in this message? I'm just going to close my eyes. Let's take my shades off. Let me just close my eyes and focus. They keep giving me, they've given me this twice now, so I shouldn't ignore it. Fortune favors the bold. So whatever it is, we do have a lot of courage in these cards here, and passion. And these cards are very fast action, moving forward cards as well. So, don't miss out on those opportunities and say yes. I wish I could have said, yes, I'll come along on this holiday, but I haven't got a passport, so it's not going to happen. But if you have anything crop up and other opportunities that you can say yes to, go for it. Go for gold. Do it. Don't miss out there. You could be, having all these beautiful, amazing experiences that you probably wouldn't usually have. And again, as always, when I pull this reminds me of the destiny, the Wheel of Fortune, which is like destiny. And it almost reminds me of that merry-go-round as well, actually, that I was seeing, very not too dissimilar there. But for me, this message is take control of your life. You're in charge. You make the choices, and being given, and seize the opportunities. But that's pretty magical. Okay. I'm still in awe. I'm still kind of shocked about what came out there, but in a beautiful, positive way. So thank you for joining me today. And if you enjoy my readings in this channel, give us a like, a comment, share, and follow if you feel like you'd like to. And I feel this reading with so much love and so much light. And I will see you in the next reading. God bless.